Hi and welcome to Let's Start Playing. Today I'm going to be teaching you Bloodrage. Bloodrage is all about gaining glory, and it's all about the amount of glory that you can earn in 3 ages of play. You'll be gaining glory in a variety of different ways, including attacking these provinces out on the board here, sacrificing yourself to Ragnarok, and you can see which province is getting Ragnaroked by this Doom token here, and those figures will all die. Any figures in this territory or in this sea space that's adjacent to this territory will all be doomed. You also gain glory points from raising your stats. Let's go over the stats now. So we have 3 core stats in Bloodrage. We have Rage, Axes, and Horns. Rage tells you how much rage you have each round of play, and everyone will start on 6. And this is like action points that you have to spend on invading figures, putting figures out onto the board, upgrading units. You'll be drafting upgrading cards each round, and this is how you will spend to get them. You also need to spend rage to move units on the board and to attack provinces on the board. So rage is used for everything. If you run out of rage, you're out of the round. You can only do reactions to fights that are caused by other players. We also have axes. Axes is the glory you get for winning battles. So glory is victory points, and the higher your axes, the more points that you can gain from winning combats. And horns limits how many figures you can have on the map. So everyone starts from 4, and it goes up all the way up to 10 figures out on the map. Getting any of these stats to this column here or this column here will give you 10 glory at the end of the game. And if you get any of your stats down to 20, they will each give you 20 points. A core part of Bloodrage is the drafting of cards, only if it's enabled, which generally it will be. And during the draft of cards, you will each pick 1 card and pass it round in a circle. Then you would receive cards passed from the player to your left or right, equal to 1 less than the amount before, and then pick 1 of those cards and keep doing that until you have a full hand of cards. Today I've got a 2-player game loaded, so it's asking me to pick 2 cards just to speed this along, but normally most games, and it's recommended to play above 2 players, so either 3 or 4 or 5 players, they will all make you keep just 1 card. Let's also have a look at your player board. So down here you have various upgrade slots, and you can either upgrade your leaders, warriors, and ships, which are in your reserve here. You have leaders, warriors, and ships. These are like your physical units in the game, and everyone starts with all these off of the board and in their reserve. Leaders get to invade onto the board for 3. So normally to invade onto the board, so to put the unit onto the board, it will cost you the amount of rage listed here. However, leaders always get to be placed on the board for free, and the good thing about leaders is this number here also represents their combat value. So a leader is stronger than your normal warrior. So warriors have 1 combat values and ship have 2, and ships can only be placed in these little feud sections here. Hopefully I'm saying feud right, because I often get told off in the comments about my pronunciations. So the ships in the feuds, it's quite fun to say, will give you combat in the 2 adjacent provinces to the ship. And let's have a look at these cards. So we've got 3 types of cards here. 1 are quest cards, and quest cards are objectives that you give yourself during the round. During a round, on your turn, you can opt to play a quest. You'll put this from your hand and put it face down onto the table, and that indicates that you are attempting to complete this quest. To win a quest, it says you have the most strength in at least 1 grey province. These are the grey provinces on the board, marked by the borders on the provinces and the indicated spots on this card. And if you complete the quest, you get glory points equal to this value here, and a reward listed at the bottom. This one lets you raise one of your clan stats by 1, which is what I showed you earlier, these stats here. So you get to pick which stat you want to go up in. You check to see if you completed any quests at the end of each round during the quest phase. So once everyone has completed doing actions and have all spent all of their rage. Quests are a great way of gaining glory, so best not to be overlooked. You also have upgrade cards. These upgrade cards can affect your individual troops, warriors, and ships. If you were to get this upgrade, you would replace the upgrade listed here with this upgrade. So if I got this leader upgrade, it would slot into here. Whenever you gain an upgrade, you get to invade with the matching unit for free as well. So If you were to get this upgrade, you may want to make sure your leader's not on the board before playing it. However, leaders get to invade for free anyway, so that's not as important. If you get a warrior upgrade, it would slot over top of this slot. You can see there's no other room for warrior upgrades. You can only have one of each of these. You can have up to 2 monsters. You can have only 1 ship upgrade. You have 1 ship in your supply as well, so you only have a max of 1 ship. It's always important to check your reserves and see exactly what units you have left, and you can have up to 3 different clan upgrades which will affect all of your units. So if you were to get a monster, it would slot into one of these 2 slots here, and the monster would come into play immediately. To get your upgrade from your hand into that slot, you do need to spend the raids listed up in the top left hand corner, however. And if the monster was to die and you wanted to put it back onto the board, it would cost you the raids listed in here. You also have battle cards. These are cards that you can play in battles, and this will make more sense when I get into an example battle. So let's go through and pick some of these cards. Now I've picked 2 cards. My hand goes to the other player and I will receive their cards. So we've just completed the drafting of cards, and now we're going into playing actions. Board Game Arena will list the actions that you can do along here. If I wish to play an upgrade, I would have to pick one of these cards along here to slot into the appropriate upgrade slot. So I could also just select the card manually from this spot here and click. And this will say, play this card, Frigga's Charm for 0 rage. This card will lower the cost of all upgrade cards for me by 1. So this is a great card to get off first. Show you invading. So if I wanted to invade, I can invade with the 3 different types of units. As I have a ship and a warrior upgrade, I may not want to invade with them now, or instead use the upgrade to get the free invade. So let's invade with my leader. I've also got a leader upgrade, but my leader invades for free anyway. And I'm going to put them into here. Units can never invade directly into the middle. They have to be placed on the outer edge. So units in Valhalla aren't eligible to invade. Units can only invade when they're in your reserve. Units from Valhalla come back to your reserve at the end of each round after the Ragnarok phase. We're in the release Valhalla phase here. I want to show you the other options. So we know how to play upgrades. We know how to play monsters. Monsters is simply just select the monster, pay the cost here. I get a 1 discount because of my Frigga's Charm, so it will only cost me 1. And this monster, I'll be able to put it on the board immediately. The other options we have is to march, and what you would do is you would select a region, and you'll be able to select all the units in that region, as many as you want, and you can move all of those units to any other region on the map. Let's now talk about the pillage action. When an attacker successfully pillages a region, they'll get the stat upgrade as indicated in the region they've just pillaged. If they were to successfully pillage this region, they would get the horns upgrade. This one they would get the axe, this one they would get the rage, and if you successfully pillage the middle, you get to raise all 3 of your clan stat. It always costs 1 rage to pillage a region as the attacker. So you're able to pillage any location where you are present. So this leader can pillage here because she is present in this location. And this ship can pillage here because ship's count has been present in both the adjacent locations. So if I attempt to pillage here, the game will ask my opponent only if they have eligible warriors, if they wish to join into this battle, and only if there are spaces left for that warrior to join in. Every location is limited by the number of spots in its location, so this particular region has 3 spots eligible for warriors, monsters, and leaders to be into. If my first opponent chooses not to move into this spot, it will move on to the next opponent if they have any eligible units. And if all of my opponents pass, it will come back around to me and I'll have the opportunity to move 1 troop. And it will keep going around in a circle like this until either all the spots in the region are filled or all players opt not to move into that region. I'm going to have my opponent pass and not move into the region. And now I will get the opportunity to move a warrior into this region. I should also say that ships cannot move, so once they are on the board, they are stuck into their fjord that they were placed into. Now that the region is full, a battle has started. In Board Game Arena, you can close out of this and look at the board state if you need, and open it again by clicking on this button. We both now have a chance to choose a card for the battle. Normally you'll be playing combat cards, but you are eligible to choose any card in your hand, and you do have to play a card if you have a card in your hand. There is no option not to play a card. If you win the battle, whatever card you played in the battle will be lost. Let's play Loki's Trickery here, which says if I lose the battle, I can steal 1 rage from the winning player. And because I have lower strength, I've only got 3 strength to their 5, it is likely that I'll lose this battle. Now that me and my opponent have both played cards into this battle, they are both revealed. My opponent was the winner of the battle, and the winner of the battle was not the attacker, i.e. not me. So no pillage occurs in the location. That means I don't get the stat upgrade that was located there. And also all my units are destroyed in that location, which was this ship over here and that unit that joined in. When a unit gets destroyed, it is sent to Valhalla. And units in Valhalla can be important for quests. There are quests each round that come out that say, have 4 units in Valhalla before the round has ended, and that is before Ragnarok has occurred. As I spent a rage to have that action take place, it is now bounced to my opponent's turn. Also, as a result of this pillage, my opponent has gained 3 victory points. That's because they successfully won the battle, and you always gain victory points equal to your axe value for winning battles. You can also see that I gained the Loki's Trickery card back to my hand. That's because I lost the battle, and you always gain your cards back if you lose the battle. I'm now going to show you what happens when you successfully pillage. I'm going to pillage this region here with this warrior, and this is not going to be contested. So when you pillage a region that's not contested by any other player, you immediately gain the rewards in the middle of this region. So for this region here, because I had this red rage symbol here, if I go to my stats, I can see that my rage has been raised from 6 up to 7. One drawback of pillaging a region with no opposing players is that you do not gain any glory from your axes. There is no glory to be had from pillaging a region without any opponents. Board Game Arena will come up with this message when someone successfully pillages a region. You can clear away this message by clicking on the message itself. Once a region is pillaged, the token in that region is flipped over until the next age, in which case it will be flipped back face upright. Areas that have been pillaged are still eligible for quests. Let's show you what happens at the end of an age. So next we'll go to the discard phase. So at the end of an age, you have to discard all of your cards other than 1. So I'm going to choose to discard these 3 cards. Next we will go to the quest phase, where my opponent has succeeded in their quest, which was to have the most strength in a blue region. They have won that twice, so that they still only get to claim it once, and they will get to pick a stat to raise. Next we had the Ragnarok phase, so all units located in this region were destroyed, and this region was also destroyed, making the map smaller for the future rounds. And you'll score points equal per figure equal to these number here, depending on if it's the 1st, 2nd or 3rd age. So this says gain 2 glory per figure destroyed during Ragnarok. The game will play over 3 cycles just like this until 3 ages have been completed and 1 player has claimed the most glory. There is just one more type of card I haven't explained yet, which are these combat cards with the white circle in the middle. These explain what they do on the card, which is they may be added to a battle even after combat cards have been revealed. So normally you can only play 1 combat card per battle. These will let you add additional combat cards to that fight to ensure victory. There are a few more rules I just need to explain. Quest cards can't be played if you go down to 0 rage. Once you get to 0 rage, you no longer are eligible to take actions, and that includes playing quest cards. So make sure you play your quest cards before you get down to 0 rage if you wish to complete them this round. Once one of your stats reaches the end, it can no longer gain any higher, and you will no longer gain benefits from upgrading that stat further. Also, in the round summary up here, it will indicate which areas of the board are going to be Ragnaroked in future round if you want to stack troops onto those areas prior to the round beginning. If you do reach your unit cap on the board, you can't destroy a unit and put a new one on. You have to destroy them in combat. An age can end if every province gets pillaged, even if players still have rage left over. There is no limit on the amount of quests that you can play each round. You may also get 2 quests for the same region during the round. You're allowed to stack these quests, and you're only required to have unit in 1 province. You don't have to have 2 separate provinces. Having the most strength in 1 yellow province for even 3 quests would be enough. And with that, you should be ready to play Bloodrage. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you, and good luck pillaging. This is Let's Start Playing. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.